regret it in 2022 and Tip Top Snack Bar.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another Swis and Jon Show. Sorry, guys. Swis and Jon Show. I am Swis, and I'm here with my friend John. How are you doing, John?
Hey, Swiss. I'm doing well, but I'm really on the ground. I've been kicked on the ground, and it's just terrible.
Yes. It's ups and downs.
Yes, but I've been kicked down by Mrs. Higgins.
Oh, by Mrs. Higgins.
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
Yes.
Do you want to tell us a bit more?
Yes, she asked me if Benjamin Chi is joining us, and I told her he said that he will join us, but I'm not 100% sure. And her reply was, if he joins, then I'm gonna watch, otherwise not.
So she's putting Benjamin Chi far more important than you.
And you.
And
So
me.
it is about both of us. You know, we're working our asses off here, and Mrs. Higgins is just waiting for the special guest. I love you, baby. Yes.
We have.
How are you doing?
KB Lake. I think it's the first time I see you. Welcome. He's saying, "Hey guys, happy long weekend." So apparently, in America, they have a long weekend. I wish I had. Yeah, I'm terribly overworked right now, and it's gonna be worse and worse until November. So yeah, fun times ahead. Watches 63, as always. Good evening to you too, my friend.
Muhammad Ali is here.
Muhammad Ali, good evening. Welcome to the show. And he is saying a special.
Most importantly. So yeah, we
Hello,
have
Brian.
our priorities right now.
Welcome to the show. So Jonathan, really a lot has happened in the past week in the watch world. We have most importantly the Geneva Watch Days, which is like a rebel streaming of the watches and wonders, but made by independent brands.
Mm-hmm.
We had a brand new Tudor coming out. We had Rolex and some other brands hiking up their prices overnight. We had
in Switzerland,
everywhere, I think.
No, not in Germany yet, as far as I know.
Oh, well, I have seen many YouTube videos about I think from England, from America, and other parts of the world that apparently prices have gone up.
Yeah, and they will go up here in the Eurozone as well. No doubt.
But usually they go up like every year in April, right? Or was it in February? I don't remember, but
I think it was at the beginning of the year. But
yeah, like once a year, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm afraid with that inflation that is taking place right now, we will have two. Because I don't think that Rolex and Co. will hike up the prices with 10%. So they take baby steps, maybe twice 7% or something like that.
Yeah, look at that. Mohammed confirming Rolex, AP, JLC, Patek went up in the first of the month.
Mhm.
And I'm just now noticing that Mrs. Higgins has a Tiffany blue rose as her avatar. Nice little touch.
You think it's Tiffany?
I don't know.
I would say it's a blue rose, not really Tiffany. Hopefully not Tiffany.
It's yes, very sought after. But yes, I thought we could start by talking about the what's it called, the Geneva Watch Days. There is just one problem. There's so much content that we could be talking about the Geneva Watch Days for hours. So I have attended the Geneva Watch Days because it's not a public event, right? This is predominantly for press and retailers only.
So what have you been doing there?
So that's a good question because I have a small group of friends here. We have a little Geneva Watch Club. And one of them just decided that, you know what, we just have to call them and try to book an interview. And I don't know how, but he got an interview with all the major brands. So on this Tuesday, I took the day off. And from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., we just chained the interviews with all the biggest watch brands to have a look at their new pieces and updates. It was awesome. Really was awesome. And I have to say, most of the CEOs were there. We had the CEO of Urwerk, CEO of MBNF, CEO of Chapek, CEO. They were all there, and they were all so super nice. And
approachable?
oh yeah, absolutely. They were so glad that we were there, and it's really funny because you you go to. So what they do is how can I say, they rent an entire hotel, like the most prestigious 5-star hotel in Geneva, which is the Beau Rivage.
Oh, okay.
Like the entire hotel just transforms into a big Geneva Watch Days show venue, and every brand has their own suite where they can do their presentations and interviews and everything. And you have your interview booked. You go over there, and the first thing there is like the person at the entrance, like the bookkeeper, like, so are you a retailer or are you press? And we're like, we're none of them, but I assure you, we have a rendezvous. And like none of them were expecting like a bunch of young kids showing up.
Yeah.
But in the end, they were all so nice and approachable, and we're like, oh, we're just like a tiny group of collectors. And then they were like, what the fuck are you doing there? And then you would have like the CEO behind would be like, yeah, let them come in. It was so nice.
So the bouncer tried to give you an AP treatment?
Pretty much, but it was not ill-intended. They were just confused, like
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So
Did you shave before you
No.
went there? Oh, okay.
No, I was totally normal, just myself. We started with Urwerk in the morning, like we're the first ones in the morning. So let me just a little recap what the Geneva Watch Days is. It's like a mini Watches and Wonders.
But it's organized about from the Association of the Independents, isn't it?
Yes. So the thing is, in 2020, when both SIHH and the Basel World were like permanently cancelled, mostly because of the COVID. The independents in Geneva, so these were the founding ones, like Breitling, Bulgari, De Bethune, MBNF, Moser, Ulysse Nardin, and Urwerk. They were like, you know what, having a year without a big press event without us showing our new pieces is really boring. So they came up together, and the first one was in April. The At the time where the other big shows were scheduled, close to April, May. And they were like, let's just call it the Geneva Watch Days. It's like a little thing that they did together, and it was really successful. So every year until now, they have been doing it. This year it was in September, but really, really, really successful. And I think right now it is a big press event, just as well, maybe not as important as Watches and Wonders, but for in the independent world, it's just as good, I would say. So yeah, we started with Urwerk at 9 o'clock to have a look at their new watches. Did you see their new watches from Urwerk, Jonathan?
I've just seen some variants of existing models. Is there? Yeah.
So this is, I think, their new entry-level piece. By entry level, I mean $55,000. So,
but that already exists.
Yes, so that already exists, right? But they had a new variant, as you said. But this, this watch is actually very wearable. It is in titanium, and here you have it on my hand. When I think of Urwerk, I think of their crazy unwearable pieces, but I was very pleasantly surprised by this. And this is something I would normally never be able to try.
Yes.
And because they had this event in Geneva, I was able finally to try many watches that you would never see anywhere, right?
Don't you have an Urwerk AD in Geneva?
No, they finally decided to close their any relation with the ADs.
Okay, because Les Ambassadeurs had
no, they are not AD anymore.
Okay,
it has been revoked.
You know what is really striking me on that picture is, look at that angle from the case to the bracelet. It's almost 90 degrees. So it seems that they were just waiting for you with your lady wrists and prepared a special watch for you, because it is a very deep angle, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's actually really nice.
Yeah.
And as expected of Urwerk, it has that satellite complication and time indication, which we all expect. And that was the new release. So it is purple on a white rubber strap. And yeah, there you go. That's the new release. But still very wearable. And I really enjoyed. I would pick that one over the other one. But if you're a crazy Middle Eastern guy with a flamboyant Lamborghini, why not?
Yeah, I think their entry model is selling really well, so it's very difficult to see that in real life. Oh, you've been lucky to get a tour and
yes, it was we were received by the CEO of Urwerk, and he was so excited to show us every little details and everything. It was
Felix
super
Baumgart now?
I think it wasn't the watchmaker. It wasn't the watchmaker.
Okay.
It was the other
I think that is Martin Frey then.
Yeah, I think it was him. That's super nice. We have off-topic question by Cabby Lake. What do you guys think of the JLC Réserve de Marche? I was thinking of a Patek 5146. But the price is steep. So 5146 isn't that the calendar? 37 mil annual calendar. Patek 5146. I know because it's my favorite Patek.
So it's the annual calendar, yes.
So this is it.
Yes,
Patek
good.
5146. I think today that would be priced around 30 to 35,000 new. New, untouched. Maybe a bit less. I don't know, depending on the variant. This is my favorite with the metal bracelet. Oh, this is fucking amazing. Yeah, beautiful watch, but yeah, it's a bit pricey. And JLC Réserve de Marche, very different.
He means the master. Réserve de Marche.
Yes. Yes. Let's also compare the 37. This one. That would be much cheaper. Much cheaper. But I think it's also a beautiful watch. You know, so you can get it in steel, which would be, you know, much cheaper. That's
Yes,
such
but
bad
let's compare apples to apples and not apples to oranges. So
yeah,
I think
but I mean, you're
yeah,
trying to
price.
compare a JLC to a Patek.
Yeah,
So obviously, the main difference is that Patek is a Patek. So you get the strong name associated to it, which immediately makes it, you know, 2 or 3 times as prestigious as JLC. JLC really struggles with brand recognition, but I think it's a very nice the quality of JLC as regard to the price. If you can get that one secondhand, it's really good.
and really cheap.
Yeah, that's what I say. If you can get it secondhand for close to nothing, that would be maybe 7,000.
Mhm.
This is an amazing price for the watch. And he is saying, or she, sorry, I love them both, to be honest. I can afford both. Just never owned a Patek. You know what? I am a big fan of the Patek. This would be a entry-level complication Patek. If you get anything else in the complication range, would be more expensive than this one. This is 37 millimeters, so rather small. So, but if you have small wrists like me, it would be perfect. Yeah. What else is there to say? If you can afford it, I approve 100% of that watch.
So KB, not sure if you watched the other shows because you may be aware that we both very often have a very contrary opinion about those watches, and I 100% disagree with my friend Swis here, respectfully, and I will tell you why. My beef with this particular watch is that the subdials, including the moon phase, are cramped together in the middle, and it just looks like a cross-eyed baby. And I don't like this particular model at all. They made it a little bit better by adding the moon phase. It was really horrible without it, but they made it a little bit better with the moon phase. I personally like the JLC much better. Yes, Watches 63 says much better the 5205. That is true, but as far as I know, that is far more expensive. So 50. No, wait. No, I think he means the annual calendar. 1 second.
205. That
Okay,
is
no,
an annual calendar.
I'm not good with Patek references. There is another annual calendar that looks like a perpetual calendar, with a full calendar. Guys, help me out there.
The
5396 probably.
5396. Give me 1 second. Oh, I see. Yeah, that one.
Yes, bingo. So in my opinion, that is one of the most beautiful Pateks in the range at the moment. So much better than the watch that you just shown.
In my opinion, this is so far worse. This is terrible. Like you were talking about cross-eye. Look this one. These are two eyes that are glued together. That
Yes,
looks
but
terrible.
that is the concept of a
That
full
looks
calendar.
terrible. This is terrible, John. That's so disgusting.
That is
This
a
far
classic.
better.
That is a classic concept. You can see that at VC that you admire and other companies. They all have those windows for
But
the
they are
month.
glued together. That's terrible.
Yeah,
They should be separated.
I like
in my
it.
opinion.
I like it because
I
it
think
is
the radial display is much better.
Okay, but I have for KB Lake, I have an alternative which I really like. So if you want to go used secondary market, there is a Breguet watch with a power reserve, which in my opinion is much nicer than the JLC, which the Breguet 3130. You can also have that in white gold.
Also a Réserve de Marche Breguet.
Yes, Réserve de Marche, 36 millimeters, designed by Daniel Roth. No, no, yeah, Daniel Roth, exactly. It has a classic master original. There is a vintage Breguet pocket watch that they crafted this particular watch after. And in my opinion, this is the much better choice. If you go JLC, seriously think about that Breguet. If your heart really goes out for Patek, in my opinion, there is no replacement for Patek. Then go with the other annual calendar that we showed, or go Lange 1815 up down.
Yes, I think this is a strong choice. Just be sure to try it on before buying it, because Breguet is really different when you look at it simply in your hands and when you wear it on your wrist. It's very important to try it on. Well, I would say this for every watch. Not a big fan of that one, mainly because they had to discontinue this one to make that one. I have to say that I am a huge fan of the case. I love that case design. Very modern, very, it's beautiful, amazing. I just don't like how they cramped everything together up there to make it under the Patek Philippe. I don't like that. And the date is eating into the wheel over here, the 24-hour wheel. I'm not a big fan of that. I think this is much better, but everyone has its own opinion. Now you had both our opinions, and you might forge yours.
So I guess KB Lake learns something out of that question. Never ask for our opinion, because you're as smart as before after you have our opinions. Okay, so I think we should.
That one.
Thanks for the question. If you want to discuss it further, we will be there after the show. We will post the link, and you're welcome to see the cat fight between Swis and myself after the show. When we're.
Can I just show one more?
Mm-hmm.
One more watch. Give me 1 second, because someone just mentioned it. Do I have a nice photo of it somewhere? There we go. Tac. So if you want an annual calendar, and someone mentioned Vacheron, this would be a nice one. See
And you
how
criticize the
those
Patek for
eyes are
being
not
cross-eyed.
glued
That,
together?
that looks like an alien.
I do not agree. I think this looks pretty nice. But this is fucking expensive. So this is like a bit. I think it's even more expensive than the Patek 5146. So yeah, yeah. But this is super cool, super nice. And look, that's my wrist. It looks actually good on my wrist, and I think it's 41. Can you imagine? It's 41, but it actually looks nice. Look at that. It looks nice on my wrist. I was impressed. I was impressed because on paper I don't really like this watch, but when I had it on my hand,
Put that thing from the screen. He says already that that one is not my thing.
well, I was just giving my opinion.
No.
Maybe someone else listening.
Actually,
maybe
I
someone
agree
else
with you. No.
listening.
Swiss, I agree with you that one is beautiful. The placement of those two windows is a little bit odd, but I think it's nice. It's not that nice like the Patek, but it's nice. Okay, Uhrwerk.
So yeah, we were just talking about the Uhrwerk presentation, and yeah, this is. I don't have much more to say about this. I'm a big fan of that one, huge fan.
Could you see one of their Cobras?
Of their what?
Of their Cobras.
So this is the one that they displayed, and no, we did not see any of the Cobras. But you know, it was still very, very interesting.
Actually, I wanted to.
It wasn't like a full presentation, right? It was just a little press event for the new watches. So as we mostly talked about that one, and they just had a few other ones, and he literally picked those up from a drawer, like next to him to show us, and it was super cool.
I hope that that we can talk about the one in the middle in one of the next shows, because it has a very nice concept of driving those displays.
Yes. I think I do have more photos of it. Maybe for another time. I also wanted to mention another watch. So this is a new brand called Birn. Birne. If you say Birne, it's like pear in German.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's Birne, and a very interesting concept. So
is that the watchmaker's name, or is that a reference to Bern?
I have no clue, but it just launched like 2 days ago, like brand new, and they have been working on that watch for the past 5 years, and it has a very interesting complication. So you can see here on the indices, it is actually a little window, but it's not only a little window, it is actually an entire mechanism. I think it shows on that photo. Yeah, there you go. You can see here that these are actually cubes that turn at each indice. And this makes it very interesting because every 24 hours, these little cubes, they shift. It's like an instant jump. They change position. And you can actually choose to put whatever you want. So there is one position who has Roman numerals, another position who has the 36912, a third position where it's they call it a ghost, where there is absolutely nothing. It would just be like the dial. And the fourth position, you can actually choose a lucky number between 1 and 12. And for example, if you choose 8, it would display 8888. If you see what I mean.
Okay. That is interesting, I must say. But it randomly changes the design, or it changes the design
every 24 hours. So at midnight every time. And the concept is that every day you have different watch in
So-
air quotes.
So is that a modular thing? Did they
No,
only
no, no.
develop the
Oh,
module? Or is
so
it
yeah, this is a big module, and
Mhm.
they use a movement that is made by mostly by the Moser manufacturer.
Okay.
So
Because
essentially, I think it's wrong to say that, but you can think of it like having it. It has a Moser movement underneath.
the case from the case, it seems that this module is really thick, and those cubes take space.
Yeah, it is.
I know
thick.
that, but it is a little bit top heavy. Look at that massive bezel that they're using
Yeah,
to hide this
yeah,
module a
it
little
is
bit.
super
Yeah.
super top heavy.
Yeah. So how much will that watch be then?
I
they-
am not sure.
Because an H
Maybe
movement and that.
maybe I can find this information online. Just let me show
Mhm.
you. Yeah, this is the this is the movement. It just doesn't. They just took out the rotor,
The rotor to
just
have
to
it
show you
better
everything.
visible.
But
Mhm.
yeah, the movement is pretty nice. Is decent. Let me find the information online. If it is online, it should be. Irne. Called the gyro dial. Monochrome.
I'm just checking in the meantime. Mrs. Higgins, are you still watching, or did you leave us because Benjamin Chi is not there?
So there we go. So there you can see, for example, when you can choose the lucky number like 8888. Or as they showed before, some crazy designs. A bit expensive, 16,000. Well, given
I
the
was
complication.
expecting more,
Yeah,
if I'm honest.
I think it's interesting.
Oh, Mrs. Higgins is still here.
Where
I think
where
so, yeah, here is the
Yeah.
problem. Yeah, with
the
the
case,
big
yeah.
with the big bezel. But of course, there is no other way to make it, because those cubes take space and they can't eat into the
Yeah, here we see it.
into the movement.
Yeah, right. Otherwise, they
Okay.
would have to have like an open, just like Urwerk, just
Yes.
show everything.
Mhm.
That is
Maybe-
more like an engine than a movement. Yeah.
Maybe if they can have a really small movement that is in between those cubes.
That would be, yeah, that would be crazy, right? Like over
Yes.
here,
Mm.
and then it moves everything. Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
crazy.
Actually, no disrespect to the creative idea, but I don't think that this will be a success, because it really looks
we
odd.
we will see over time.
Mm.
We will see. Yeah, then
Ooh.
I went to the, Philips auction house had a small booth where they showed their watches for the next sale, and they had that beautiful Laurent Ferrier. I think we already talked about it a few times on our show, and I think it is such an elegant watch. Really clean design, beautiful. The case is amazing. I love it. And here you can see the back, and I am a big fan of the back. And basically, the photo is nothing compared to what it is in real life. When you look at it in real life, it's really good looking, gorgeous.
But that is a Philips watch, or did FP Jaune have a booth there?
FP Jaune was not there.
Laurent Ferrier, excuse me.
No,
Sorry.
Laurent Ferrier, they were not there. They were
Okay.
not presenting at the Geneva Watch Days.
So this watch is being auctioned off by Philips then.
This watch is being auctioned off, and yep.
I must say I like the silver dial more than the blue one. I think we had as far as I know, it's a titanium case, and we had it with the blue dial already on the show. I really like that silver dial. I must
Do you
say.
like the tiny red accents?
Yes, yes. It spices them up or it prevents it from being totally boring.
Yeah, I agree. They, it's really funny because they had the Schwarz-Etienne Voutilainen watch, and I know that Marco finally bought it.
Really?
Yeah, like a week or 2 weeks ago. Because apparently he had a crazy good offer for the price, and the guys at Philips, they valuated it at 15,000. So I am just curious to see what it's gonna fetch at the auction.
Yes, but we've been talking about that before, and that is one of the not so nice things from, particularly from Philips. If this watch goes over their estimate, they charge you a performance fee, and that is one of the reasons why those estimates are so low.
Yes, I do agree with you. So I was talking about that watch right there.
Because in the current market, it's 15,000 is ridiculous. Schwarz-Etienne. So did Marco buy that new or secondhand or
Secondhand?
Mhm.
Well, I mean, yeah, probably in a beautiful condition. Like, but yeah, he got that.
Oh, that is amazing.
That is amazing. Yeah, and it's really funny because I remember when he was saying, oh, it's not the real thing. It's not,
It is the Tudor of Kari Voutilainen.
Yeah, it's the Tudor of Kari. Yeah, but in the end, if he really had a very beautiful price. Yeah. So yeah, congratulations to him.
It is good to scratch an itch, and if you're really striving for a Kari Voutilainen, even if you have the money, it will take you a long time to get one, and so I think it's the perfect thing to try out, because I'm pretty sure he will get back what he paid for.
Yeah. That's the main thing, I think. He was offered to get the watch and not taking the loss of if he had to really buy it secondhand. That's probably it. And why not? Just enjoy the watch.
Yeah, I like that with the blue dial, I must say.
Yeah.
But Schwarz-Etienne was not there at the Geneva Watch Days. No. Okay.
Nope. Okay, so just one more brand before because there's many more that I'm not talking about. Maybe for the next show. I was able to have a rendezvous with the Moser people, and this is their big revelation: a brand new streamliner in gold, 5N rose gold, with a Vanta black dial and a huge tourbillon. What do you think of that?
It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart.
Tell
because
me why.
H. Moser is doing everything right from the perspective of the company, but they're doing everything wrong for my wallet and for my well-being. Because I really want that I really enjoy the streamliner. I totally loved it when I tried on the chronograph. Yeah. And I so hoped that they would do a Vanta black dial. By the way, Vanta black is the most black dial imaginable. The dial consists of little micro tubes which basically suck out all the colors from the daylight. And this Vanta Black is totally groundbreaking, absolutely amazing to look at. And Mrs. Higgins doesn't like the gold watch. I think she's just afraid that I'm gonna.
I think she doesn't like the price tag that comes with it.
Yeah. So I was hoping for a streamliner in steel with a Vanta Black dial. That is basically what I was hoping for. Let's say around 25 or 30,000. Now H. Moser chose the tourbillon, which makes it more expensive, and then a gold case and a gold strap, which makes it more expensive. And of course, they earn a lot of money with this particular watch, much more than on my bloody idea of having it done in steel, non-tourbillon. So that is why I say Moser does everything right from their perspective, not for me. And I'll be totally honest, I think the streamliner concept works better in white metal.
Okay, interesting. I
because
think
you know streamliner, you know those where the name comes from. That comes from the old locomotives and from the old caravans in the US. Do you know what a streamliner caravan is? Or are you too young to know that?
I'm too young.
Okay, so
only old men know about that.
Yes, so I'm trying to Google it, and you keep on talking.
we are having some very conflicting.
we have a generation issue here.
Mrs. Higgins says that you can get the very black watch if you want. Many other people, like Cabby Lake, says that it is a total disaster. And Rohit R says he doesn't like the streamliner.
Yes, I think also OC is not a fan of the streamliner.
Yeah, he is not a fan, I think, in the Moser brand in general. But yeah, I think he really does not enjoy the streamliner. And Rohit says that he prefers the Green Dragon. Well, too bad, because it has been discontinued.
You know, I hate this Google search because everywhere I'm searching, I'm redirected to something that I can't click on. It is absolutely a disaster. Pinterest will not display.
Yeah, the worst is when you're looking for a nice image for a watch, and a blog to watch.
Yeah,
has like all the first, fourth, third, and fourth row of images, and you cannot show them.
Yes. So Swis, this is a streamliner caravan here. So
yes.
The originals, I think, were made in the 1950s. Yeah, 1959, this particular one. And that is the concept, but it is not an original concept because it was made after a train. One second, let me check. Here, that is the streamliner train. One second.
Mr. Copper Blue says that he's a fan of the Flyback Chrono streamliner.
Oh, that is so amazing! I totally love
I have
that.
a picture of it, actually, if I can find it.
Where's the streamliner?
There we go. Oh yeah, and the movement inside that chronograph is really good.
No, this is hidden below a gallery. This is a disaster.
Oh, there we go. A nice photo.
You do it.
Let me bring it up. Oof. Yeah, there you have it. The flyback chronograph with what's it called? The Agenor chronograph inside.
Mm-hmm. That is so beautiful, and particularly with that blue dial. That's
You know, I'm one of the rare guys who preferred the initial gray dial.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Look, I would take either of them, but my clear preference is the blue.
Yes. You would even prefer Vanta Black.
Yes.
Yes.
But I was hoping for the normal three-hander watch in Vanta Black, actually.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that would be 25. So they're making 12 on this watch. On the tourbillon in yellow gold, they're making 50. So they did everything right.
Absolutely. And I guess I have a few more photos that I would love to show, but actually I cannot. But I will show it after show just for you.
Mm-hmm. So Marvin, the Martian is asking, where's the Chapek? I'm not sure what you're asking specifically. If you're asking about my Chapek, I called my AD and they told me it is delayed until next year. And I decided to change the dial from I think the color is deep blue to ice blue now. So I'm gonna have the dial in ice blue.
Yeah. So delay.
Yes.
And more delays.
So, but that is not a real surprise. I'm not sure if the change of the dial pushes it even further behind. But now that it's so late, I thought, what the heck? So I'm just going with the ice blue dial.
You had a deposit for that watch, yes?
Yes.
50%?
Yes, 50%, and the price is fixed. So
Ah,
even
good.
if there is
Yeah.
a price hike, I will not be hit with it.
Right. That is good. By the way, good to see you, Marvin the Martian, a long-time viewer. Are you still looking at your photos, Jonathan? What's going on?
No. Scratch the streamliner locomotive. I think I made my point.
Okay.
I think I made my point about the streamliner concept, and in my opinion, it works much better in the silver metal. I don't want to give H. Moser an idea to have a platinum edition, so maybe that will be coming up.
Oh, a platinum edition, yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel about a gold streamliner in
I
general?
really like it.
Okay.
As you know, the thing is, rose gold and yellow gold does not really match my tone, my skin tone.
Mhm.
White metals like white gold and platinum and steel are far better, much more of my taste. But that's just me, because everyone else says, "Oh no, it looks fine. It looks fine." But when I look at it, I'm like, "Nah." It just blends with the rest of the arm.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. That's why my Vacheron is white gold, my JLC is platinum, my Rolexes are steel. I tried, the rose gold Daytona. It looks terrible on my arm. Well, everyone else are like, yeah, it's super nice and everything. I just put it on my arm. I just don't like it. But it's because of the rose gold.
You
And
know
I think
that
yellow
Vacheron
gold would be-
chronograph that I owned and that I sold a
Yes.
couple of years ago.
Yes.
I'm the same. I can't wear gold-colored watches. So Mr. Copperblue is saying he's wearing a Hulk on Oysterflex. That is an interesting idea. Hulk on Oysterflex, I like the idea. Isn't it the problem with this combination, in my opinion, is the lugs are really thick and the size of the strap is really thin, and the metal bracelet kind of covers it a little bit. But in my opinion, on the Oysterflex, it's more obvious that the strap is a little bit understrapped, a little bit too tiny compared to the watch.
Wouldn't there be a huge gap? Or is it just me? No.
Could be as well. Let's
Wait,
ask
I'm
Mr.
looking at
Copperblue. Yes.
some photos right there. Oysterflex. on a Hulk, because you know there is those brands that make you
Yeah,
know
Rubber B and
oyster
Everest.
flag
Yeah.
esque. But is it like a real oyster flags that he
I think
chose?
so. Yes. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. Okay.
I've been asking my AD if I can put the oyster flags on my. Which one did I ask? I think on my steel Daytona. Yes, and he would have sold it to me. But then there is the advantage that there is also a gold Daytona. So yeah. So OG Hash Hockey is asking, are the Morse dials the same process as the Rolex Ombre dials? The appearance is quite similar.
What's the ombre dial?
That is my question. I don't know what
I think
an
it's
a
the
Rolex Ombre
it's
dial.
the you know the white gold, dark deep blue date with diamonds. I think this.
Oh
Yeah,
yes, yeah,
yeah. There
with
it
the
is.
baguettes.
I think it's that one. Is that
Yes.
the ombre dial?
If that's the
Um,
one, I really like it, but I think the process of the streamliner is a little bit different.
yeah, it
I
must
think
be.
it's a little bit more smoky.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't know how they do, how they do it on the Rolex, so I wouldn't be able to really say. Oh, there, a photo of the dial.
So Mr. Copper Blue says, no, it's not a big gap. It's just like Yachtmaster on Oyster Flex. Very good point.
I'm not sure because I think these are sunburst dial that are slightly lacquered on top, whereas the Moser they don't have any lacquer. I'm not sure. I
think
don't know how they are made at Rolex.
I think the Moser dial doesn't look that deep like the Rolex
Yeah, it doesn't.
dial.
And this is why for example, the Vacheron Overseas, the blue dial. This is how they actually achieve this deep blue look. They do a sunburst underneath, and then just put a crap ton of lacquer on top to get this really ombre effect, as you call it. Yeah.
Okay. So which other brands have you been visiting?
I have been visiting many other brands. I have been visiting Chapek, which I could talk
Oh yes,
for
please.
1 hour. Shall we start talking about those? I mean, the show has been running for
55.
55 minutes. Maybe we can have a quick word about what you showed me before, the production, the annual production of watches from
Oh yes.
different brands.
Yeah, we can change
Yeah.
the topic, guys.
We can.
Just for your understanding, we have Benjamin Chi in the title. This is not clickbait, because I had a talk with Benjamin. For him, it's 3 o'clock in the night or in the morning, and he wanted to come on. Apparently, he doesn't feel like that, but he will be on very soon. I just wanted to make sure we're not clickbaiting here. It was planned, but like often in life, something gets in between. So if you're listening to that, and I know that Ben is always watching the replay, you're always welcome to here on the show.
Yeah, just to give you a little teaser, because we can talk about those in the next show. I have been visiting Chapek, MBNF. I have also been visiting Rouge, which is a company who makes very elaborate music boxes. And it's far more interesting than it seems. I have seen Jacob & Co. By the way, Jacob Arabo, so CEO of, the guy you would see on producer Michael's channel. Such a cool guy.
Really?
Such a cool guy. Yeah, amazing. amazing. Really, really nice. I've seen Girard-Perregaux and a few others. Yeah, that was a very interesting week. So
Interesting. Okay.
this is a picture Jonathan sent me a few
Yes.
days ago. So I think you would like to comment on it.
Yes, I've actually I found this on the Rolex forum. One of the members, he was gathering the internet, and he was checking public available data, and he researched the watch companies. So the key figures for him is the annual output of a certain watch brand. For example, the first one, Greubel Forsey, is producing around 100 watches per year. Then he was looking at the number of employees, which is in the case is of Greubel Forsey is 133, which makes 0.8 watches per employee, or it takes in average to one person to produce one watch, it takes 15 months. The employees are not only watchmakers; they are all staff, including the marketing and the management and everybody. So I think the true watchmakers must work harder than those numbers imply. What, in my opinion, was very interesting was a company, and that was the topic. His claim was that Lange is putting a lot more effort into their watches compared to Patek. And let's have a look at the numbers of Lange. So Lange is producing 5,000 watches. By the way, they cut that number down now to 2,500 to 3,000.
Yeah.
So the numbers are even more impressive. They have 770 people working for them, which means every employee is producing 6.5 watches per year. I was interrupting you.
No, please continue.
Okay. So for comparison, Patek Philippe is making 60,000 watches per year. I think that is more or less the official number. And they have 1,600 employees. And if you divide those numbers, it means 37.5 watches per year per employee versus Lange & Söhne 6.5. And the claim of this Rolex forum member was that basically Lange is spending 6 times more time on every watch than Patek Philippe. And I find that those numbers impressive. Let's keep in mind that those are average numbers. So if a company is producing more complicated watches, just like Greubel Forsey does, or for example Richard Mille does, then the numbers are a little bit more impressive or less impressive in the case of Richard Mille. I'm not sure if the number is correct, 5,000 watches with 148 people. That sounds to be a very efficient enterprise, I must say, with their prices.
Yeah, but you know why? Because Richard Mille actually outsourced everything.
Yeah, because AP is doing the work.
Audemars Piguet is making all the work on their movements.
Yeah. And Richard Mille is basically just the marketing company.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Funny,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, that's an interesting way to look at this. Yes. Yeah, Helmut says, yes, I guess Laurent Ferrier doesn't have an HR department with only 15 people. I totally agree with that. Same, I think, goes with Voutilainen and Grönefeld. So yes, I think those numbers are really speaking a lot and gives you some context. From a pure management standpoint, you could say that Lange is super inefficient compared to Patek, for example, or Rolex.
You know, the crazy part is Voutilainen is very well known to be a supplier of pieces. So a sizable amount of their work is, to provide watch movement pieces to other brands,
Yeah,
not
and
only for
cases
their
and
watches.
dials.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
he
yeah.
has, but I think those numbers 15 employees is only for Voutilainen watches.
Ah, okay, that would
So
make sense.
I don't think that we're talking about
Oh,
Catan or
it's a smart guy who made this
yes.
this chart.
So Mr. Copperblue is asking the difficult questions always. Is there any way to really find out how the real numbers for Rolex are? Swiss, you are Swiss, so maybe you can reply to that.
So the thing is, Rolex, they don't have to say it. They are
Charitable trust.
private charitable company. They don't have to say anything about nothing. They don't have to report anything to the market or to shareholder. There is no shareholders. There is nobody.
Yes.
So they just keep everything secret.
I think that is the biggest issue, and some years, I think that's 10, 15 years ago, the COSC,
COSC. Yeah.
yes, the
Chronometer certify.
yes, but it's Contrôle officiel de chronomètre
The
something.
chronometry suisse.
Yes. So they issued numbers, and you could estimate then the Rolex production numbers, because their number one client was Rolex, and the majority of COSC chrono certificates went to Rolex. And back then you could estimate, and the estimates back then were 700,000 and per year, and they've been now scaled up to 1 million. But this is only an estimate. Nobody really knows.
Yeah. Still a very, very interesting thing to think about.
Yes, but from that, if we are looking for a moment and compare Rolex to Patek, they're similarly efficient, and that is one of the reasons why Patek opened that new factory building, because I think that new factory building is super efficient. So a lot of watches with not many people, just like Rolex is doing. And
Right.
Rolex is doing 33 watches per year per employee, and Patek is doing 37. So they're almost toe to toe.
Yeah.
Dangerable Robinson, you just missed that Mrs. Higgins was insulting me, that she's still watching the show, and that Swiss has no taste in Patek Philippe annual calendar watches. So that basically sums it up.
Yeah.
Are you still here, Swiss?
Yeah. I think he should still rewind just to be sure not to miss anything, because there might be a few details here and there that
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So there is a comment. Didn't realize that Frank Miller was that large, and that surprised me as well. And actually, I had a nice conversation with a representative of Frank Miller in Germany, and he told me that business is really going well. That the old partner of Frank Miller is now fully in charge with the company, together with his 2 sons and his daughter, as far as I know. And apparently, the business is doing pretty good with Frank Miller. 40,000 watches per year.
Yeah, it's true. Because you don't see them that often. Yeah.
I think
even in marketing, I don't see them that often. So.
I think they're focusing heavily on Asia and the Arab countries. But from the conversation that I had with the representative, they are trying to fill the gaps because Richemont is pulling their brands out of the ADs. So many ADs are faced with the situation that there is no Cartier, there is no Baume & Mercier, there is no Piaget anymore, and they're looking for alternatives.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Should we open the channel for questions, or should we
Sure.
wrap it up with
No,
the
sure. We can
ending
open the panel.
Yeah.
For,
1 second, I'll post the
if
link.
anyone has any questions or remarks, now is your
Yes.
time to speak. Didn't Jacques Hedreau cut production a lot? I think. Well,
think
I
they
know
did.
that they closed most of the ADs in Switzerland.
Yeah, and they are not producing affordable watches anymore. They
yeah.
want to go 100K and more.
Yeah, they really are ramping it up in focusing more on those bird cage watches.
Oh, there is a good question thought about the new Chapek. I think he means the Quai de Berge, the updated
Quai de
one.
Berg. Yeah.
Yeah, Berg. Okay.
Big.
Have you tried
big
it
fan.
on?
Yep. We can talk about it in details on the next show, but to make it short, I'm a big fan.
So, Torsti Lane.
Very classical piece. It's not a piece for everybody. Let me just show it.
Are you talking about Chapek, or have we been moving to the next question?
No, just show the Chapek Quai de Berg. Yeah, this one. Big fan of that one.
I'm a big fan of the update. I didn't like the old movement. It was a little bit boring. And I'm still not a fan of those hands.
Yeah, but you can choose which hand.
Yes,
you can choose to have the classic.
But the alternative hands are not much better.
I really like those actually. It's a bit like Arnaud and Son when I look at those hands, but I really enjoy those.
I love that Aventurine dial, but that was only a limited edition.
Yeah, that was amazing. There we go. Yes, the movement is amazing behind. So they updated. Just to show it right there.
Yeah,
that is really nice.
Looks much nicer than the old one. Yeah, I think.
But I guess
Chapek
we
is
will...
stepping up there.
Yes, Chapek is making big moves. I guess we can talk a bit more about it next time.
So here's a question. Torsti Lane.
Torsti Lane. I actually really like Torsti Lane. So, he's one of those brands who make really beautiful watches using very affordable movements. So it's like, it uses ETA movement. So that is an ETA movement, but it's finished like a like a
Grönefeld.
Yeah, and it's like $5,000 to $10,000, totally customizable, beautiful. Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah, he puts a lot of effort into it.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Torsti Lane.
I agree that dark blue looks really nice, but it's a little bit undersized, isn't it? 36 or 37?
I mean, he probably has probably has two sizes, but I know that it's highly customizable.
Yeah, that is the Vaucher movement that I was talking about.
That is the Vaucher movement right there. This one, and I think you can get this one for less than 10,000. So it's pretty cool, and it has a real guilloche dial. For example, this one, and you can customize it with a
3 different guillochages.
Yeah, and this one has tremblage in the middle.
Is it tremblage, really?
Yeah, It's probably stamped. I'm not sure.
I think it's stamped. Yes. Mhm.
But big fan. Yes, perfect size, as you said. Perfect size. That's nice. Okay. When is Swiss gonna fix the camera? I don't know.
That's a good
I
question.
still do not know about that.
We have technical issues.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I just have to bring up something. And yeah, we have been going for 1 hour and 10 minutes. We are slowly gonna wrap this up. Just give me 1 or 2 seconds more, and up. Okay, I'm ready. I think for
Okay.
the end of the show, our friend Jonathan wanted to conclude with a message of his.
Yes.
I let you the floor.
So I apologize in advance to put a little bit of a downer to the show, but I think it's important. So you guys all know how much I love that Porsche design watch that I purchased in February. It is the 50 years anniversary edition of the old Porsche design chronograph, and I've been wearing that every day since I got it, and I really like it. Now I have a friend. I knew him for over 25 years, a little bit older than me. Great guy, lived a great life, has been working in different places. Massive fan of Porsche, a little bit of interest in watches, and we've been talking always about watches. And he was never interested in my watches until I got the Porsche design chronograph. And I know how much he liked it because he asked me several times to try it on, and he really liked it. It put a smile on his face, and it went so far that I knew he was asking his wife before we met the next time. He asked his wife, "Do you think that he's going to wear that beautiful Porsche design chronograph again when they are coming?" So his wife reached out to me secretly. Yeah, my friend, unfortunately, has been diagnosed with lung cancer. He fought a long battle with lung cancer, and he was struggling with his health. So his wife reached out to me, and she asked me if I could get this particular Porsche design chronograph for him, because he really liked it so much. And of course I did. And later in April, I handed the watch over to him, and he was totally happy. And that is the picture of him wearing his brand new Porsche design chronograph and me wearing mine. So we became Porsche design chronograph brothers. And whenever I met him, he told me how happy he is with the watch and how much he liked it. Unfortunately, his health was going down a little bit, very heavy. And prior to last week's show, Mrs. Higgins and me, we both visited him in the hospital. He had additional oxygen supply. But he was in good spirits. We were joking, we were having fun, and we made plans for next week that we're going to visit him again. And I wound up his Porsche design chronograph because he could not really move out of his bed. So Saturday, we went home, I made the show, and my friend passed away on Monday morning at 3:07, peacefully. His wife was with him there, and he wore the Porsche design chronograph and a shirt. And that is it. So we are talking a lot about finishing of watches and anglage and breguet end curves and brand recognition and things like that. Just keep in mind that probably a watch is the last thing that you're going to wear, so choose it wisely. With that, I say goodbye and hope to see you again.
Goodbye, everyone, and see you next time.